Former President Donald Trump is desperately attempting to pump up the stocks of his failing Truth Social platform.
Truth Social.
On March 26th, Trump Media and Technology Company, the firm that owns Truth Social, merged with Digital World Acquisition Corporation, or the blank check company, and they went public. The next day, the stock price exceeded $66 a share and had previously reached a high of nearly $80. And then reality finally hit, and this thing went down massively. Worse than Lauren Boebert at a theater. Oof. Yes, I actually went there. There were plenty of
dumps, big, massive dumps.
And the stock is down. It has lost more than half its value, going down to around $31 per share as of late Friday morning. So that's not good. If you are the owner of the majority of the shares in the company, Donald Trump, that you're not allowed to sell off for the next 5 months, 5.5 months, you're not doing well. Okay, you're not having a good day. You're having a very, very bad time, all right? As you get to sit there and watch the value of your company.
Bing, 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 boom. It's gone.
It's gone. It's gone. And that's about $2 billion worth of value that's gone. So now, with that in mind, the former president took to his platform to urge his followers to support truth. I am so proud of Truth Social because I believe it represents the Make America Great Again movement. Oh, in more ways than one. I would actually agree with that statement because of, how bad it's failing and how nobody wants to touch it. Ooh. It shows the spirit and love for our country, he said. If people who believe in putting America first and want to make America great again support truth, we will be your voice like never before. And a real voice is what our country needs because we are in decline. Once again, a true statement. We are in decline, speaking of truth, and must bring America to greatness. Think of this as a movement. Oh, it's a movement, all right. The greatest movement in the history of our country. We're going to save our country and make America great again, greater than ever before. Once again, the only movement that I can think of is
dumps.
Okay, in regard to Truth Social. But no, look, the real movement that Donald Trump believes in, we know, is himself, his net worth specifically. At the closing, high for Trump's media stock price, the former president's stake was valued at $5.2 billion. That is declining as we speak. The value of those shares has since plummeted to about $2.4 billion. So that, look, he's still, if you were able to cash in those shares today, he'd still come out, with additional billions of dollars, okay? So he'd make money from this. But he can't for another 5.5 months. Who knows what's going to happen by then? And if it follows the trend, oof. Now, he's out there basically telling his followers, please bail me out before my meme stock crashes to oblivion. And look, his followers right now are pretty much the only people that are floating Trump and Truth Social, okay? Real investors that want to make an actual profit, they're steering clear because it's very clear that this is not a healthy company. And it's not entirely Trump's fault, by the way. I mean, it is in the fact that why would you create a social media company to compete with X or Twitter, which is not doing well? Which, by the way, when it was Twitter, it also wasn't doing very well. It was barely profitable, barely. Since Elon Musk took it over, it's not profitable at all. Okay, so that's losing money. Every social media company loses money for a significant period of its time before it's able to actually operate in the black. And so Truth Social is following that trend by operating massively in the red. They brought in $4 million in revenue last year. They lost $58 million. That's a disaster. But again, when it comes to these social media companies, Not exactly surprising. But see, what Trump has to do to actually get True Social to be profitable is expand the user base. But who wants to go to True Social, a place that is operated by Donald Trump that censors criticisms of Donald Trump? It's not even a free speech platform. If you talk bad, and this is in the rules for True Social, if you talk bad about Trump or True Social or anyone related to True Social that runs it, you will get banned. And so who wants to go there? You think a large majority of people are going to be like, you know what I want to do? I'm going to go to True Social. No. And even if you like Donald Trump, there's really no reason to be there. There's no reason to go there in the first place because it's just a small echo chamber. They're losing users as a result of that because there is no broad-based appeal. With Facebook, there was broad-based appeal. For back when it was Twitter, there was broad-based appeal because it considered one of those free marketplaces of ideas, that kind of thing. The town square for conversation. Now you can actually address your politicians in a tweet, in a post. With True Social, I mean, what do you have? Nothing. There's no reason to be there. And so, look, there's no reason to invest in it either if nobody's going to be there. So that said, anybody who bought Trump Media at the closing high of $66.22 on March 27th, and there's a lot of people, they have lost more than half their money if they haven't already pulled out by now. So you look at that, you look at the health of the company, you look at the markets, you're going to be like, no, even the MAGA guys. I know some of you are going to be like, no, I'm not going to lose my money. I'm not going to invest in something that is not going to give me any sort of return on investment. Now, that said, they're still going to donate to Donald Trump's legal, his campaign and his legal, paying his legal bills because at the end of the day, they wanted to win and do all the terrible policies that he said he's going to do. But at this point in time, they can see that buying True Social stocks is not going to help them personally. They're going to lose money. Now, they could wait until it craters, to like super, super cheap. They could buy low, and then whatever happens in the election, if Donald Trump wins the election, then that stock is probably going to go way up. All right? So they could be hedging on that. Like, all right, let's wait for it to fall. We'll buy up a bunch of shares, and then if Donald Trump does win in the election, we'll make a profit. But until that happens, until it goes, we're going to see how far this stock continues to slide before people will want to jump in and buy low. So I think they're waiting for a crash. And once again, it's an open question to whether or not that stock will rebound. Because if Donald Trump doesn't win the election, it's pretty much over, right? And so that said, this is why people like billionaire Barry Diller, chairman of Expedia and People Magazine owner IAC, told CNBC that this is a scam and that anybody who's buying it is a dope. And look, the initial investors, the people who, again, made money off this by offloading the stock as soon as it went public, they cashed out. They made an absolute killing. Those people were not the dopes. The people who are buying it at, $60 or, $70 or $50 a share as it continued to slide, those are the dopes. Those are the ones who did not see it for what it is, a Trump and dump.